Good afternoon. It's September 22nd, and this is episode 22 of Rob Explains, your daily podcast discussing and explaining cool, random, and interesting things. I'm Rob. Thanks for joining me. For today's episode, I wanted to talk about something else that is uniquely human, and it's something that we all suffer through nearly every day. While we may laugh at inopportune times when something is awkward or difficult, when we're embarrassed, we will almost all certainly blush. And that is a uniquely human trait. So how did blushing start? How did it come about? Well, first of all, looking at our nearest genetic relatives, we have to make sure that our faces are clear enough for blushing to have a result. Once we, as early humans, started to lose the body hair that is more seen on our nearest genetic cousins, then the possibility of showing emotion, whether it's laughter or sadness or even embarrassment on our faces, became possible. Blushing is caused by a dilation of blood vessels in the face, specifically the cheeks and the chin of the face area. Now, dilation of the blood vessels is not an uncommon thing. There are a lot of reasons why blood vessels may dilate, but blushing is specifically human and specifically weird because it's tied to a very complex emotion. That's embarrassment. Embarrassment requires having a societal norm or just a norm in general, and knowing that somehow that norm has been violated, that you are the violator and that you should feel badly, a version of badly, about that result. Now, because it requires such a complex emotional response first, that is the reason that it's likely to result in to be found in humans and no other animals. We are capable of highly complex emotional thought, and although other species may have what we would consider societal norms, there is no such thing as a feeling of embarrassment for breaking those societal norms. Generally speaking, most societal norms in the animal kingdom, tribe or clan or group norms, are just always held, and they're not broken. And if they are broken, then that member is ostracized because the breakage is so serious that the entire tribe is put at risk. But for humans, we've developed societal norms that have nothing to do with survival. It's more about custom or just the way things are done. And when one of those is broken, no one is really put at risk except for the person who has broken them, because now they haven't done what we've always done before. So when you tie that very complex emotional concept to a physical response, that must mean that there is some sort of evolution or adaptation at work. But why? Well, once our faces were unhaired and able to be seen so that the dilation of the blood vessels there served a purpose, and once we developed those societal norms and customs that a highly complex emotional response requires, it is only natural that not everyone would be able to follow this complex set of societal norms all the time. And we don't want to ostracize members of our society who don't follow every single custom. Embarrassment also requires not only that you know the custom and that you've broken it, but that you understand that other people in this tribe or group have understood that you've broken that norm as well. So it's more about the societal bonding of a group than it is about a personal faux pas. You have to be able to predict or understand what other people are thinking and their reaction to that situation. And that reaction leads to our best understanding of why we get embarrassed and why we blush. Because if we look at just not video, but still images of someone who is blushing and is embarrassed, you're not likely to take from that still image embarrassment. You're likely to feel that the person in that image just requires sympathy, that something has happened and that your reaction should be sympathetic. Now, the context of a video or a live situation gives us the embarrassment, the blushing resulting from an embarrassing act. But just a still picture, their reaction is sympathy, tells us that the blushing reaction, having broken one of our societal or cultural norms, that reaction is tied to getting sympathy from the people who are reacting rather than an overreaction. Whereas other species may ostracize members who don't stick to their societal norms, our reaction is tuned to sympathy because, hey, we've been there too, right? And because we don't overreact, we don't ostracize members of our community. In fact, we move more towards forgiveness. Again, a uniquely human concept. So it's highly likely that the evolutionary response to a complex, evolutionarily adapted emotion is to work on another highly complex emotion, sympathy. And all in all, this is all about keeping our tribes, our clans together and creating that social bonding that's so important to humans. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Rob Explains. Look for new episodes daily wherever you listen to podcasts, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode. Do you have a subject you'd like me to cover, or just looking for more Rob Explains? Find us online on all social media at Rob Explains. Got a comment, question, or query? Or did I get something wrong and you want to correct me? Shoot me an email, rob@robexplains.com, or you can leave a comment down below. I'll check those right after the show goes live. And you can send me a message, anchor.fm/RobExplains/message. And in the form of a voicemail, I can actually include it in a future episode. Once again, thank you for joining me. Until next time, this is Rob. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great day.